As the world counts down to the August 31st deadline for U.S. combat forces to leave Iraq, the last combat brigade, 4th Stryker 2nd Infantry Division, has already left the country, almost 2 weeks ahead of the Obama administration's requirement.
All right, brother. One more round? One more.
As many Iraqis braced for what they feared could be a turbulent departure in the waning days of U.S. combat forces, they awoke this morning to a new chapter in the occupation. No longer Operation Iraqi Freedom, but now called by the Pentagon a new dawn. Over the course of 4 nights and early mornings this week, elements of the last brigade drove hundreds of Stryker vehicles from Camp Victory near the Baghdad airport to here, the Kuwaiti border. Al Jazeera joined them for the journey.
How does it feel?
Feels great.
Yeah.
This marks the end of a year-long mission in Iraq for our brigade. It also represents the end of 7 years of war in Operation Iraqi Freedom.
And what does that mean to you?
It means we finished a mission, and I'm proud to know that our brigade was the last combat brigade in Iraq. We finished with honor and we finished with dignity. Most importantly, we left capacity with the Iraqi security forces so they can take the lead from here on out.
7.5 years after the invasion, Iraqis are now, for the first time since Saddam, in charge of their own security. Some Iraqi army officers say they're unprepared. Earlier this month, Iraq's top army officer, General Babakir Zabari, said that his soldiers would need 10 more years to be ready. A senior Iraqi intelligence officer, who asked us not to use his name for fear of his life, told us he believes the Iraqi army is unfit, incompetent, and unprepared to take over. He said he had detailed information about high-profile attacks to come, and most damning of all, he said the downward trend in violence over the last few months is actually a result of underreporting, that he was being prevented from reporting some of the violent activity in his area. Iraq, he says, is in the throes of a surge of violence. Even as the U.S. heralds the departure of its combat forces, there remains a massive infrastructure of military bases and 50,000 U.S. soldiers. Their stated role is to act as trainers and advisors, and to continue to counter what they call terrorism. With the government in stalemate, increasing violence, and senior Iraqi army concerns, the question is, will this milestone mark the end of the war, or the beginning of a new period of violence?